So ladies and gentle plebs, this has never happened before. There is a car in iRacing that I have driven / am driving in real life. This little cutie right here is the BMW M4 GT4, and I've been driving this car in real life around the Nordschleife since the start of the year. A lot of time in this car. I competed in the N24 in this car, and this puts me in a little bit of a unique position because iRacing sent me this car in early access to basically try out. There's no pressure for a review, for a video, anything like that. I just wanted to do one because I thought it'd be interesting. That being said though, all views are my own and they always will be. So we're going to look at the car in depth today and just see if iRacing is as realistic as it says it is. This is our BMW M4 GT4. Look at it, it's here in game. How cool is this? And for all intents and purposes, it looks pretty much exactly the same as the real thing, down to the splitter. I haven't broken one personally, but I'm told it's worth about £8,000 to £10,000 if you break it. It is super cool to see this this car in game. I don't know, it feels very surreal to see it in iRacing. Oh, we can go inside. I mean, everything here inside looks the same, pretty much. Even down to this little red thing here that you smash to get out of the car. Pedal box looks the same. Oh, we're actually oh, no. Unplayable. We're missing the little wire that goes just between the pedal box and the door there, which you use to pull the pedals towards you. They're on a little runner because short king.
Oh, shit.
This is so cool. We even have the air conditioning here. These little two pipes may look very cool and interesting. They're literally just the AC, which you can see on the button box there down the left. You press the AC and then you press the blower next to it to turn on the coldness, which, trust me, you need in this car. And you might think this little knob down below is the brake bias. It's not. That's to control how much air conditioning you have. So you know it's a sweaty game where I've got that thing cranked right up whenever I'm driving. It is so cool to see this all here and just so damn detailed. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I'm accurately conveying just how surreal this is to see this in game. To see something that I'm so familiar with in iRacing is just, my small monkey brain cannot comprehend it. I guess we should drive it a bit. I mean, look at this luxury of having a rear view screen here. We don't have that, unfortunately. And I know you guys don't see our dash very often because we blur it for all our videos, but this is pretty much exactly it. Actually, so much so that I can see that we are on MDM mode on the traction control, and our pedal is on the linear setting, which is what we use, but we don't use MDM, so I'm going to change that to what we use in real life, which is TC traction control, usually 1 or 2, quite a low TC for dry conditions. How cool is this, by the way, just like adjusting this in the same way? Oh, it does sort of, doesn't really have the sound of the real car. The real car's a bit more, guttural than this, you know. This feels a bit like raspy compared to the real car in terms of noise. Anyway, let's exit the pits. Yep, bit of wheel spin. Oh, they've even got the brake pressure thing working. You see underneath the brake balance? Sorry, I'm sort of nerding out a bit now. But underneath the brake balance on the dash, they've got the brake pressure there as well. That only goes up to 94.7 bar. In real life, braking for T1, you kind of want around 100, 110 bar. Well, any more than that, you can actually start to confuse the ABS a little bit. As Misha found out when he hit 170 bar going down a T1. Bro does not skip leg day. But the gearing feels already exactly where I remember it being. You tend to be a gear higher in this car everywhere because of how torquey it is and how weird the gears are sort of spread out. This is already very, very familiar to me. Don't run up this curb here. A little bit of a lift on the way through. Back on again. Car, I can feel what feels like quite cold tyres right now. In real life, the car's quite sturdy through it. It feels like the car's steering from the rear a little bit at the moment. We come through this this section for the first time using the curbs, past the Bilstein corner, heading low, out to exit. You know, that little bit of oversteer that's present there in real life, present here too. Now, of course, bear in mind a couple of things that are important when comparing this to the real life car that I drive. Is this is in GT4 spec completely, which I do and I have driven before, but it's not what we drive at the ring. We drive an SB8T spec, which is a bit faster than this in a straight line, and we have different suspension as well to what I suspect this have. We, of course, run Bilstein suspension, so it's not going to be one for one, but it doesn't feel too far away. But the way you drive the car feels familiar. You're genuinely watching right now my first ever lap of the ring in this car. I've not done any practice. I've literally just jumped in the car, done this. This is it. Now through here, I've seen Manny do 230 Ks mid-apex. Can we do it in this? Tap on the brakes. Oh, it's easier in sim, isn't it? It's easier in sim to go that fast. But round here, I just feel that this is easy. Isn't the right word, but it's familiar. You know. It's like a muscle memory. I actually find myself wanting a bit more force feedback, because in real life the car isn't heavy, but right now it feels very light. This is the difference I'm noticing between this version and the race room version. This car feels like it's... Oh, we're flying away. The weight doesn't quite feel like it's the same. That's the sort of complaint I have about iRacing in general. Sometimes the weight of the car isn't accurately portrayed, it feels like, especially in a car without any downforce. You know, this car, whilst it has a wing and whilst it has a splitter and somewhat of a diffuser, there's not actually much aero in it at all, which is why we're so quick in a straight line. These cars actually faster than GT3 cars down the straight. Mad. Through here is flat. Usually have a tiny little lift through there, and we're in 5th gear for this first bit, change down to 4 through the second as we come through this right-hander, then keep it in 4 through here, hug the apex on the inside. We're going to go up to 5th gear and then a slight lift here, not a brake, into the right-hander. I used to brake through here until Manny told me not to. Dab of the brakes into here, get the car in. Roll the throttle, back on again, lovely. Now I kept 5th through here for a lot of my first time in the car. Whoa, there you go, there's that torque coming in. I only meant to drive a couple of kilometers in this, just to sort of get an idea for how it would be. But honestly, I'm driving around and it just feels like, doing a normal lap. It really does. But I don't race on a clear track at the ring. We race full of other cars. So let's chuck some AI on here and see how this thing races. Oh, damn, it seems that I've missed the start. That's because I was busy checking out all the awesome deals over on a Britzy. That's right, a Britzy are here for you every step of your sim racing journey. Whether you fancy just upgrading your rig with a fancy Britzy seat, or maybe getting your hands on some other sim racing hardware, a Britzy is the place to go. Links down below in the description. Anyway, back to the M4. Okay, frame rate. iRacing, you can do it. I know you can. Oh, it's dropping. Oh, I don't like that, does it? Anyway, yep, nice mild pit exit. TC doing literally nothing there. That's not how that works in real life. But anyway, down towards T1 for the first time. And that familiar feeling of charging out the pit lane there. Oh, man. Very cool IRL. So I've started this car a few times. Or is it a few times or just once? I've started it in real life. So you sort of know how it feels in the first lap. Usually, it just feels understeery. This feels like it's already skating all over the place. Like the TC is kind of doing nothing. But let's try and at least get onto the back of this pack and see how this thing actually races against other GE4s. These are AI, of course, so they aren't going to be as high IQ as the average iRacer. And now up towards the cut through chicane. So fun and so fast in the real-life car. We'll see how it is here in the sim version. Is there room for a small lunge? There is a big lunge. Oh! Nearly collected the back of that AMG there, don't worry. McLaren on the ring, impossible. Big lunge. Still there. Go away, go away, go away. Come on, mighty M4, outdo him. He's still there. Yep. Okay, we're good. Now, really hard to overtake here. It's super bumpy on the way in. But we'll have a go anyway. Yep. A little bit of contact with the car behind, but it's okay. It's hard not want to compare this car to the race room version. I think this car looks the part a bit more than the race room does, but in terms of the feel, it just feels a little bit more floaty, moves around a bit more. You don't quite feel the weight of the car as much. But look at this, absolutely dig a run. Oh. Is there a gap here? Oh, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this. Go for the move. Oh! Something else as well about this car, and I really hope that this translates to some of the racing, because I've noticed there's so much in anything with ABS in iRacing, because the ABS doesn't work in iRacing the way it does in real life. You hammer this brake as hard as you can in a straight line to slow the car down. ABS does come on as well. You use it. Oh god, that's how you slow down. But I've noticed the tendency in iRacing that basically going into the ABS is a bad thing, so much so that you lose a lot of time going into some corners, you overshoot, all that stuff. Motorsport ABS is f***ing great. If you have it, you use it. And to the point where in a lot of the high sort of braking corners, you really mash that pedal like as hard as you can. In these corners, you want to try and obviously sort of just skirt around it and have the car flow through the corner. It's a bit different here, but the heavy stops are different, and iRacing has got that wrong in the past. I'm hoping that it feels okay at the moment, so it's hard to tell. A fellow Bimmer, no room to do that. Oh, he gave me the room there. I was about to back out and let him have it, but AI gave me the room. He's still there. Go away, please. Leave me alone. Lovely. This is so cool. It's so amazing to have this experience, and I appreciate that there aren't many people in this world that get to, I guess, have this experience of driving their car in one of their favourite simulators. But it's just amazing to see, to feel it, you know. Aston Martin in front. This is usually be the door car, because those guys are very, very fast, despite the fact they're in a class below us technically. You often find them bothering us until we get to a big straight line, our favourite. It's just a unique experience, this. I'm struggling to find the words. I'm a very sentimental person. Things like this mean a lot to me, you know, and I've had a lot of that recently where crazy things have happened, and I'm having to sort of try and process it, and this is just a bit of a reminder, oh my god, a bit of a reminder of, I guess, how far the journey's taken me. Anyway, one of the biggest things I'm noticing difference-wise is the way this TC works. It doesn't work the same way as it does IRL. It feels a lot more oh my god, that AI is smashing that. It feels a lot more, I don't know, it doesn't quite work. Basically our goal with TC in real life is to stop any sideways motion on acceleration. You know, it doesn't matter if we've got a bit of TC and we're going straight, we're trying to avoid that slide. That's what really costs the time. And it feels like this, that even on TC1, which is the lower setting to be fair, we're not really getting that change. We're not really getting that safety net that it provides in real life. It's a very small change, but very small difference between this and the real car, but something that I think is worth noting. Oh my god. Not really an overtaking spot there, but this guy's slowing me down. No room to overtake around here at all. It's so frustrating when it happens in real life. You just have to wait. You can go for a move, but you're probably going to have a crash. Is there room by? No, again, pushing him along. Come on! Why are you braking? There, get out of it. Go on. At a certain point, you're allowed to shut them off, alright? That's not real, okay? Don't quote me on that. What we really want and need here is just a little bit of a slipstream or something going on to the main straight. Come on, little Bimmer. This is where our car has a bit of a difference over the GT4 car. We have a bit more power down the straight. I mean, our top speed, yeah, we would be pulling up to the back of these cars at the moment. How far off is it compared to the SB8T version? Underneath the Bilstein Bridge. Always very cool to see that when you're racing in real life. Like, yep, that's us. Yeah, I mean, we're talking like a good amount slower down the straight there than the old SB8T. I would love to have that version. It wouldn't be too hard to do if you wanted to be like really add like another class to iRacing that way. But I understand why you wouldn't do it, because it's very specific to the Nürburgring. Man, what a privilege it is to drive my own race car in a sim that I've driven for many years. It's such a weird feeling that at one point in my life I decided to log on to iRacing for the first time. In fact, I remember my first race, it was MX-5s at Okayama, and a very angry South African man shouted at me. And it almost put me off iRacing for life and sim racing for life online, but I persevered, and then years later I find myself here driving my car in the sim I started with at the circuit that I love. It's it's a very weird thing to sit here and talk to you guys about. But to get back to the topic at hand, the car is great. The only thing I'd say is that maybe, just maybe, it moves a bit too much. In real life, we try and set up the car to move as little as possible, to slide as little as possible. And on this Ringmeister setup with the TC in the same sort of space as I would have in real life, the car does slide a lot. In fact, I'd say maybe it's a little bit more challenging than the real life car is, which is a crazy thing to say out loud. But this is the first time that I've gone from real life to sim racing. It's always been the other way around for me. And when you go that way, you realize that you lose something. You lose that G-force, that feel through your bum through the corner. And that's how you drive a car in real life. In sim, it's completely different. You rely on visual cues and force feedback. But regardless, I am looking forward to racing this thing in sim, because it just feels like that's what I need to do now. All right, I need to go into the Nürburgring Endurance Championship in iRacing and just race this car with Steve, with Misha maybe, and just enjoy the ludicrous thing that is happening now, having our M4 GT4 in sim. Again, a massive thank you to iRacing for letting me try this early. And if you enjoyed the video and my insight into what this car is like to drive, feel free to hit that like button, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And as always, a massive thank you to my channel members and Patreons for supporting my content. Take care, have an awesome day. See you all next time.